just wrapped, well, not we have all wrapped on BLFC 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And we are coming to you live from my backyard.
Where we're having a rare case of actual thunder and rain.
Do you know, Joelle, it's so funny because our first con we did the video and it was outside and it was interrupted by the airplanes. And now here we are outside doing a review of our second con and we have the weather. But that's okay, we're gonna power through.
We are. Okay. So what we've decided to do, we've not talked to each other about this at all. This is all like on the spot happening right now. We're gonna talk about the difference between our experiences at FurCon, which was our first one, and BLFC.
And for those that don't know, FurCon is in San Jose.
Further confusion, yeah, and it was in January.
And we sort of were off the cuff on our first video and we liked the way that felt, so we wanted to do it again this time. So we each have our own notes and opinions and we're gonna sort of bring them to you.
Yes, and just discuss them with you. So you can just be part of our discussion.
Yes. So the way I've organized my notes is my general impression of the convention and then what I perceived as pros, which made this a great con for me, and cons. And when I say cons, I just mean things that I probably would have changed if it was up to me to make it a little different.
Okay, so I kind of did, broke it into sections by subject. So
Okay.
we'll just, you start and then I'll just, I lost my notes.
So then jump in as they apply.
Yeah,
to you.
I'll just jump in.
Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Okay.
All right, go.
So general impression of BLFC was it felt gigantic.
Yes. Oh, and so much energy. There were so many people, so many furries. Like, yes.
It felt very, very big.
Yeah.
And still it had that community atmosphere.
Yes. It was less intimate though, as far as walking through, people were busier and that was fine. It was great. It was fun. I don't want that to sound like a negative, but as like walking through, we could only we're just lowly moths and we could only spend a few seconds with the person that may have wanted to talk to us for a little bit longer. And so we totally understood anybody else that needed to do that with us. Actually,
yeah, we were grateful for every hug and every
minute.
crumb of time that we got with anyone.
Well,
we were grateful.
Honestly, there were a few furries that I felt like really extended their time with us when they did not have that. We know they didn't have the time. They were busy. They were requested to be other places. And still they took just at least some time. So we love you guys. Thank you for that.
And I mean, this was totally us like, we know you're busy. And people would say, no, we can say hello. Everyone was so kind to us, but.
So sweet, but it was less intimate.
It was.
Do you know what I mean?
It was less intimate, but I have to say the difference, and when we say things that are cons, please know we have no negative, anything that we took away from this convention.
It was a blast.
Yeah, we're just comparing it to our other singular experience.
Like, it was a great time.
For sure.
It was
I want to
different.
refrain from saying amazing because I use that as
so cool and
amazing.
Awesome.
Awesome. But it felt big, but there was definitely still a very strong community atmosphere. And regardless of what floor you were on, I mean, I felt completely comfortable.
Yes.
You know.
And the interaction, one thing, and you may have this, please tell me if I'm jumping ahead. But speaking of the atmosphere and the large, like the con feel, it felt like the entire casino was the con, like everywhere, because every level we went, every section we went, other than like panels or con only events, there were just regular patrons of GSR taking pictures, asking questions, and caught up in the excitement and magic of the furry fandom. And it was awesome.
I agree, and I would say that BLFC has that over FurCon in San Jose because I think the people in the casino were like, what the heck is going on? Cool. Whereas I think it wasn't.
But when you
not that there was negative people or people saying rotten things in San Jose. It was a different crowd maybe.
Right. Well, because at a casino, people were there to party and have a good time anyway. So maybe that, you know, the connecting that you just have a different mindset going into the different venues.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
But that was so fun walking around and seeing, like, we saw the faces that we had the first time that we went to a con on these people that didn't even expect this.
Yes.
It was really, really cool.
I saw a woman, she was playing a machine and she was literally doing this.
Oh, and we saw that little lady that I guess earlier saw a Scooby suit and then went and bought snack cookies in dog biscuit shape and brought back to looking for Scooby to try to give them. It was awesome.
I think that's precious.
So anyway, so I thought that was really
super
cool.
Into it. So, that is the overall general impression.
Right.
So here I would say these are my pros, and it'll be funny if you disagree.
Okay.
I thought the event was very well organized.
I agree. It really was, like, very well organized.
Yes, and for instance, we had our meet and greet, which was super awesome, and we loved it. But the people were there to make sure the room was set ahead of time.
Yes, they introduced themselves.
Yes.
Some furries that we connected via computer virtually, but had not met in person. Yeah, so they came and made sure we had everything. Yeah.
Yes, and convention services did too. They made sure the room was set as we wanted it, and I saw them do that with other panels and meet and greets too. So I know that was. It seemed to me to be consistent. So I loved that it was
Very
organized.
well organized.
It was easy to find everything. So to me that was good. The con space was clean.
Very nice. Yes, very much.
So everything was picked up.
Oh, and they had great things like in the main stage area. They look like balls of yarn, balls, and the dice, and all of that stuff.
And who doesn't want to play with that?
Our kids, our teens, probably played for an hour with furries. It was great interaction, but all of that, like, environment was very clean, very accessible, very fun. So, yes, I agree.
I agree. And the security was effective and friendly. Okay, that one guy was not having a great time.
Okay, but you're talking about like the non-furry, non-con, just the GSR security?
GSR
yes,
security.
I feel like they were good. Yeah, the one guy wasn't having a blast, but he was really trying to be customer service oriented.
Yeah, when we called him on it, he perked up. So I don't think he realized because he kind of had a look on his face.
But he could have just been having a bad day.
He could be. Who knows what's going on in his life? But as I walked in, I showed him my badge. I said, "Are you having fun?" And he went, yeah, I am. He wasn't.
He caught himself, but he still was trying to give good customer service.
Yeah, but I would say for the most part that security was good.
Yeah.
And there was somebody who was a staff for BLFC was monitoring the registration line. I wanted to ask a question, and I did not catch his name, but he was adorable. He had a poodle skirt, but it was an at, not a poodle. So I loved it. So I don't know who he was, but he had a great personality, and he had to the lines over here and move some people back, but he still did it really well. So I think security and all of that was great.
Well, I want to say something quickly about registration because we were not going to bring our youngest kids, but we quickly changed our mind, and I brought all three of my kids that live in the house. I have an adult kid that lives in the Midwest, but the ones that are in home, brought all of them to the dance competition, even the 8-year-old. So we had to go back and register the two small ones at a later time, and the furry at the registration desk was informative and friendly and gave us suggestions and tips. It was really, really well done. Really well done.
They had if you didn't have a smartphone or weren't adept at it, they had the devices at a table right by registration. They had plenty of, we had one of the clips break, exchanged it with no problem. They had plenty of programs for the event or schedules, whatever you.
Right.
So I think the organization was
top
on
notch.
point.
Yeah. It was really well done.
And that's not a negative about FurCon because I think their game was good too. This was just very noticeable for such a large event.
Yes, agreed.
Lots of water stations. Now this is from a non-furry perspective. I had read some comments on Twitter that some furries had said they needed more water and maybe long straws in the lounges.
The long straws, I could see that.
And that makes sense. So we can't speak to that from our perspective.
And for our kids, running around and getting dehydrated, yeah, every single space we went to had open water fountains or coolers.
It always had water available and cups available.
Yeah.
and a wastebasket to receive the cups.
Yes.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Craft services were available in the ballroom with discounted food. And so that kind of goes with something that, for me, I perceived as a bit of a con about the con, is that a GSR is a fantastic city of a casino hotel, but it is that. So it's not walkable to other things. There's a Walmart across the street, but not like FurCon where we walked to a great steakhouse.
Well, we walked through a little bit of San Jose and experienced the city. That was cool.
Yeah, so it's not as walkable, but the other side of that is they had craft services available at a discounted rate in the ballroom, which I thought was handy.
And we had the unlimited drinks with the sponsorship level.
With our brew cup.
Bring me my cup.
So, but the craft services, I will say, I got a coffee, and it probably took 3 hours. Is that an exaggeration? Maybe it was only 2 to get through the line. But
we were just standing in the dance competition line anyway, because guess what we didn't realize? Because I'm going to just chalk it up to being overwhelmed with all of the lovely things to look at. We could have gone, see, we did pre-register at a higher level. And you know how we walked into the dance battle? We had that opportunity for the dance competition, but we didn't.
Well, I didn't know. But
I didn't even think about it. And my daughter said, "Why didn't we go through the other line?"
We were enjoying hanging out. Besides which, the fact that
we were waiting on Carrie to get her coffee. So,
and while I was waiting so long in line for my coffee, Messick found me and came and said hello and bought my coffee, girl.
Oh my gosh,
that was so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah, in and out of suit.
Yes, and I showed a picture of her in suit to my son, and he recognized the character from Overwatch. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, my 8-year-old too.
Oh!
Yeah, he said, hey, go back to that one.
She is so cute. I mean, you're right. She's cute in and out of. She's adorable.
I think that every single furry that we were able to connect to, like one-on-one, was amazing.
Yes.
We had just, oh, I'm gonna cry.
A special shout out to Cricket who danced with us on stage.
Yes, we got on stage during the rave. We stayed until 3 o'clock in the morning, you guys. No lie. 3 o'clock in the morning. And we danced and we
killed it. Well, I mean,
we
for
were
old
there.
People. We danced, you know. You didn't do it.
I'm sorry. I can't do that side.
Oh, I did it wrong. It's this way? Okay, we're sorry. We apologize. We realize that's as dead as the dab, but it happened and it's in there.
It's in there forever. Okay, so. We do that a lot.
I realize I also had toys and activities to play with in the dealer's den and ballroom, which you already mentioned.
Yes. Ooh, and speaking of, we can look at each other's notes now because we're talking about it. The dealer's den. So my furry wanted to say, in her opinion, she loved the larger dealer's den at the larger con.
I agree.
And it's just, there were so many
Did
awesome
they like the dealer's
artists.
den?
I don't know. They only asked to go like, what?
A dozen times.
Each day.
For 3 hours at a time?
Yeah.
Felt like?
Yeah. So no, she loved that, loved all of the artists. And so guys, we stayed till 3 o'clock in the morning because as the moms that we are, we took our teens to the drag show, which ended up being not quite a drag show because they didn't have enough.
Some were in drag.
Yeah, right. But Brenda Banks said, or at Brenda Banks, I guess.
At Brenda Banks, Hotscapy.
I love it. Anyway, it said that there weren't enough like to do just a full drag show, so it was kind of a rap battle, or I mean a lip sync battle. I keep saying rap. I don't know.
But it was great.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
So fun.
And
It's like slightly risque.
Yeah, but
as you would expect. I mean, that's not a surprise. Oh, clutch the pearls.
No. It was at 1:30 in the morning, and
it was.
We expected it to be a fun drag show.
And it delivered.
Yes. What did your young furry say about that? Because mine was like head over heels she hopes that every con we go to has a drag show.
It's funny that you think he talks to me. I know that he liked it because every now and then when they would do something risque, we would purposely like sneak out just for fun. We didn't care. And then they would go. So it was wonderful. I know that he loved it and he had a great con.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you good? Or what do you have?
Go.
Okay, so here are...
Go.
Okay. So I was just wanting to talk about our local con because, I mean, anybody that talked to us or saw us or anything there, I think we screamed out that we live here probably 2,000 times. I don't know. So this was our local con. I want to talk a little bit about the differences between traveling to a con and living in town with a con. This will sum it up. I think next year I am, for Mother's Day, since it's the weekend after Mother's Day, I'm gonna fly in. Hold on. One of the grandmothers of our family will receive not a first class, but a ticket, maybe first class, to Reno.
Even more legroom?
Probably that. Into Reno to spend the weekend after Mother's Day with their grandchildren because this moth is going to be staying at GSR. Yeah?
That's what I knew you were going to say. I'm in it. Let's get a room because we have to be there all the time.
We missed things that we did not want to miss because we had to go.
That's what you were going to say. I totally am in.
Well, it was so much. So when we were at FurCon, we were there. Like, we were in the con experience the whole time. Here, we had to check out and go do mom stuff and house stuff and errands.
And who wants to do that when you can be at a con?
I did not want to be. So then we would come back and we'd have to get back in it and we would find out all of these things that we missed and things that just did organically happen, not were scheduled, and we wanted to be part of.
Well, yeah, and if somebody sends you a message and says, I'm suiting, but you're at home
you're
making
dinner for the kids and you know it's going to be an hour and a half before you get there, you're like,
that's a bummer.
So, yeah,
I agree.
think, yes. So next year, yeah, we're going to stay.
Okay, I agree.
Okay.
And so, one thing that I want to say about this con is, I want more swag.
We want t-shirts, guys. We want t-shirts.
We did not.
We should have gone
Was it patron?
We were sponsors. We should have gone patron, which I guess we'll have to just
We cheaped out, and that's on us. And I tried desperately to buy a T-shirt, and that did not happen.
Were they out? They just had just a few overflow. And
what the gentleman told me is if somebody comes to trade in a BLFC shirt for a Good Boy shirt.
We're almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Sorry. Okay.
But if somebody were to trade in a BLFC shirt for a Good Boy shirt, that I could come and then buy it. But I checked back several times because we were in the dealer's a bunch of times, and it just didn't happen. I did buy a Good Boy shirt for my son, though, because he's a good boy. Okay, that is all of the stuff that I had. Less walkable, that's true. Limited swag. I want more swag, but I understand why maybe it might be a problem to have a lot of swag.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it costs money to make it.
It does. It does. Okay, so I want to shout out to the con staff because I don't know why I didn't realize. Maybe I just hadn't really considered it. But when at our meet and greet, we met some con staff that work different cons. So apparently that's not unusual. Like, there are people that give so much of themselves to our fandom. I guess we're in now.
The furry fandom.
The furry fandom.
You just put yourself in there.
Well, I feel like we are in it. I hope you guys.
We have been welcomed.
So welcome.
That's right.
Anyway, we've talked to some people who do staffing and just different volunteer positions at mini cons, and I thought that was really cool that there's a community, a group of people that do that. So I'm gonna say, if you have local cons, consider volunteering and giving those guys a little bit of help. Maybe we'll try to do something sometime.
I don't know. I mean, that sounds like an itch. I don't know.
Anyway, okay, so I think we covered pretty much everything. It was a great con. We loved seeing everybody.
We met other parents of furries. Which was super cool.
And should we give a teaser or no?
Yeah, go for it.
So, we have interviewed at least one other parent at this time on camera that we are going to try to get a couple other things together and put out some videos so you guys can see, just
other perspectives.
Not just our perspective. Now, I would like to say this though, if you have a parent that would be willing to talk to us maybe over Skype, or if you're local, we would love to. And not only parents that are supportive, we would like to. I don't want to talk to somebody that's going to be mean to me, but I will. Okay, well, Carrie will. But I would like to even talk to parents that aren't super supportive, because I want to see why. I just want to know why what their
Without
feelings.
judgment. Without judgment.
Oh no,
why?
we don't have. Yeah, we have no judgment. I would like to know what. I'm curious, what the feelings are, especially if it's been like a long-term thing. If they've known, like, because I personally don't understand how you can or see this fandom and be not supportive.
Well, I mean, if it's just not your thing.
No,
I guess.
but that's different than being not supportive. If it's just not your
Fair.
thing, my husband, it's not his thing, but he supports our daughter and he loves the smile that this gives her. So,
Yeah.
So I would like to hear a wide range of parent perspectives, or grandparents or aunts, uncles, loved ones. Have them reach out to us here or on Twitter at Moms of Furries, or email us at MoFurries, Moms of Furries.
Yes.
At
and,
Gmail.
And I want to say before we, I almost said hang up.
Before we hang up,
That one great thing I loved about it being, GSR being the venue, is the go-kart.
oh, you guys had a blast.
Let me tell you, there is nothing cuter than ears in the wind of a go-kart, because dogs really like to get their face in the wind. So I love that. I wish while I was driving I could have taken video of that, or even just photos of all of the, that was awesome.
We do regret not doing more footage as we were walking around and things like that. It's hard because you get so overwhelmed in just looking. And it's challenging, like, to say the least, to recognize people in and out of suit. And we made some mistakes.
Yes, and I apologize. Joelle's way better at that than I am. I'm just
But
terrible.
I'm not good. And I don't think I'm way better.
Well, you might still be not good and still way better than me, because Joelle would tell me that somebody would be like, who? Oh! That's how you would talk one every time. Who? Oh!
And, so if we made a mistake with you, or if we seemed aloof, we are not aloof and we love you. We just probably were like in a state of shock or just confused.
Yeah, we were
tired.
swimming as fast as we could, and it may happen that we don't recognize a fur face or a human face, and that is not intentional. It is just us working as hard as we can to keep up.
Yeah, so if you see us ever, please come and snuggle us, and we will snuggle you back. And if we look like we're dazed and confused, you can tell us.
We probably are.
Because we probably are. Right? Okay, I think that we pretty much covered it. We hope you guys enjoyed the recap of BLFC. We found a ton of pictures we still haven't posted, so we'll throw those on Instagram and on Twitter. And then I think that's it for today. What do you think?
I think that is it. We love you, furries.
Love
and
you
we
guys.
hope you have a fur-tastic day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.